The 62nd annual Munich Security Conference kicked off with European leaders looking to mend their ties with the United States. The summit takes place amidst Trump's harsh criticism of Europe and his repeated threats to take over Greenland. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz called for a new transatlantic partnership, while Britain Prime Minister Keir Starmer called Europe as a sleeping giant, adding that Europe must rely less on the US for its defences. In a statement, Downing Street said that Starmer will be arguing for a European-centric NATO at the Security Summit in Munich. It further said that Starmer will call for a UK-EU defence cooperation. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron said that the time has come for Europe to become a geopolitical power, while lambasting accusations that Europe has been decaying. Macron also said that the world should take cues from Europe rather than criticizing them. Macron further said that the European Union must assess how France's nuclear deterrent can fit into the bloc's security architecture. Alongside German Chancellor Merz, the French president also said that Europe must be prepared with a stronger security framework.
Europe has to learn to become a geopolitical power. It was not part of our DNA. We conceived ourselves as a political construction to provide peace. We delivered. Second, a single market to provide growth and prosperity. We delivered. Now we have to reform it in this new order. In this new geopolitical environment, Europe has to become a geopolitical power. Everyone should take their cue from us, instead of criticizing us or trying to divide us.
Prior to this, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer met German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and French President Emmanuel Macron and held bilateral talks with both leaders. French President Macron also held bilateral talks with Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson at the sidelines of the Security Conference in Munich. Meanwhile, California Governor and Democrat Gavin Newsom urged countries and corporations to buck up against US President Donald Trump. Speaking at the Security Summit in Munich, Newsom called out Trump for his racist tropes while also lambasting the United States Congress for being supine.
Buck up. So am I. There's probably not a politician in the United States. I'm under assault attack by this guy every single day. Here's the President of the United States, racist tropes he put out. This is the President of the United States of America. Call this guy out. We have a supine United States Congress, so we have to stand up. Corporate leaders have to stand up. People have to stand up.
Now, in the midst of all this, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed the big progress in talks with European leaders on ending the war with Russia. He also held bilateral meetings with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store at the sidelines of the three-day security conference in Munich. On the other hand, German, French and Chinese foreign ministers held trilateral talks. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot also held up bilateral talks with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi during the summit.